And good Tuesday morning to you, Weather Not meteorologist Evan Hatter with a check of your busy forecast as we head into our Tuesday. Brought to you as always by On Target. We'll say Tuesday today looks like the pick of the week, just because we won't be dealing with huge amounts of rain or storms or anything like that. Just a slightly milder day with some sunshine out there as we work through today. You see on the satellite imagery, I'll put it into motion. Not dealing with a ton out there this morning, though we will keep an eye on a few of those clouds, trying to sneak on in. You see some areas of higher clouds tried to work in during the overnight, but overall no big issues out there this morning. Cameras around the region. Our Sexton Bin Builders Sky Cam this morning out of Gold City in northern parts of Allen County, excuse me there, hold on, northern parts of Simpson County. Bear with me there. Getting my counties mixed up this morning. Either way, a little bit of that high cloudiness reflecting some of the lights in the distance, but otherwise, we're in pretty good shape as we work through the morning hours. D93 Skycam overlooking Bowling Green again. You could see some of those mid-level clouds, some of the low-level clouds reflecting some of the city lights back to the region, but for the most part, we are A-OK, though it is a little on the chilly side out there this morning. Temperatures starting off in the low to mid 40s region-wide. Notice a lot of us outside of the Wobbles region in the 30s. 33 Elkton, 36 Litchfield, and 36 over in Beaver Dam. 40 right now into Morgantown. Same thing, Russellville. 43 is a popular number everywhere east of those earlier two, plus 44 at the WKU farm this morning, so some slightly milder air. Either way, jacket weather to start off our Tuesday, though you may not need it as we head into the afternoon. Here is the dealio. Low pressure, cold front from Sunday's storm still pushing off the east coast. Next low pressure getting going across the front range of the Rockies there. You see that low near Denver. That is going to spin up into a very strong weather system as we head through the next couple of days, and eventually that weather system will produce what would likely appear to be a severe weather outbreak centered just to our west, but I do think we'll see some effects from it as we head into tomorrow night and into the early parts of Thursday, and that just kind of lingers as we head through the remainder of the work week with the potential for extremely heavy rainfall rates. That may end up being the calling card of this system, depending, of course, on what happens out to our west, but the potential for widespread flash and river flooding continues to be the big concern as we head through tomorrow night into Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It just kind of lingers over the next few days. Today, no big issues. High-resolution rapid refresh doing a decent job this morning, showing those temperatures in the 40s. We get some southerly winds back today. Not aggressively breezy, but will be there. Low 60s out there for a daytime high today. Low to mid 60s, I think. Depends on exactly where you are. As we head through the overnight, notice those temperatures don't move a whole lot. In fact, they may get warmer as we head through the morning hours as we start to kick up aggressively breezy southwest winds during the day tomorrow. I'm talking gusts on the order of 40 to 45 miles per hour that will really bring warm air back into the region, with those temperatures getting up into this particular model shows mid and upper 70s. I think we can do mid 80s tomorrow just because of the strength of the wind and the atmosphere that we're bringing into place as we head through the day tomorrow. And that is where our storms start to come into play. That big low-pressure system to our west will drag a cold front into the region. And we're using the NAM high resolution now because I think it's doing a better job of highlighting the potential for those storms working in. This is today. No weather worries out there today. You see those storms out to the west as early as tomorrow morning. That's that developing low pressure. Those should start to weaken, but could lay a boundary out for more storms to fire tomorrow afternoon. This is midday, and you notice as we head later into the afternoon and evening hours across Arkansas, Missouri, into Illinois, we fire up those storms, and the environment out there is very conducive for strong to severe thunderstorms, including the potential for some larger tornadoes out to the west. Now, looking at the environment here as we head through this time frame, that environment is here too. The difference being that we are looking at not nearly as much in the way of a kick to get those storms going up during the daytime hours. So it would stay mild, very warm and breezy, but we would hold off on the storms until they get a little bit closer. This is, let's see, this is 9 p.m. on our, hang on, it does that. This is 9 p.m. on Wednesday. Those storms try to make a run into the region. They congeal into more of a line, but notice this particular run of the model doesn't bring the storms in until ever. It never brings the storms in, and we just continue that path with the potential for that heavy rain to move in. I think those storms will eventually get here, but there is still some discrepancies in the model data that would bring some of those storms into the west, and they start to fade. There are some that never bring them in here. That boundary gets hung up, and it just starts to wobble through the week. I do think that will eventually be the solution, though I think areas along and west of Interstate 65 would carry the greatest risk for those strong to severe storms as we head into the day tomorrow. Now, the high-resolution rapid refresh has locked onto a solution, or at least presented this over the last several runs. I'll show it to you. This is the high-resolution rapid refresh. Tries to show some of those storms firing as early as 2 o'clock and really starting to try to pop some of those storms, what we call in the open warm sector, tomorrow evening. If this were to happen, I still think it's a rather low probability, but if this were to happen, that would increase our tornado threat, that would increase our large hail and damaging wind threat out ahead of the main line, which you see is still working its way into the region. The high-resolution rapid refresh still takes it until past midnight to work these into the region, at which point they would then start to just kind of sit. And that brings up the big problem. I do think the HRRR is a little overcooked there. I do not expect a widespread number of these, at least based on what I've seen so far. I would not expect to see a widespread number of these, but we'll continue to watch the data trends as we work through the day. The main threat continues to be out to the west, but if we can pop through that cap, it could get busy in a hurry out there as early as tomorrow evening. But I think the better threat for that is going to be out to the west. So the level 3 enhanced risk for severe weather still contains most of the Wobbles region. I noticed with the morning update, they pushed it back just because the Storm Prediction Center, I think, sees that those storms are it's going to be tough to get those to work on into the region and completely work through as we head into the overnight and we start to lose the instability, we start to lose some of the forcing as that front just starts to stall. In fact, it has the far eastern parts of the region at a level 2 slight risk. Again, I think the better threat for the strong to severe storms is going to be to our west, but we'll have to continue to watch that potential during the afternoon and evening hours on our Wednesday. Severe thunderstorms develop west of the Mississippi, push in overnight. It's going to be tough to get some of these storms to move east. Damaging winds and spin-up tornadoes are the main threats with these storms that push in. Obviously, like we said, if we can get any of those storms to pop ahead of the line in the cap and kind of bust through the cap, the tornado threat would be higher. I'm not sold on that threat yet. Just keep it in the back of your mind with that potential working through tomorrow. Breaking it down by threat, mainly these would be the brief spin-up tornadoes. They've confirmed several of these from the Sunday night round of storms up near the Louisville area. No confirmed tornadoes from Sunday night in our region, but something to watch. The 10% risk is the same risk we had on Sunday, and it is in that hatched area, which would include the potential for some longer track, stronger tornadoes, mainly if we're able to get those discrete cells to pop up ahead of the line. We'll watch that trend. I think it's unlikely, but we'll continue to watch the trend as we work through. Wind probability is still in that 30% range, 60 to 70 mile per hour with that hatched area for the potential for hurricane force winds. And then the hail risk mainly off to our west where the cells are likely to be more discrete working through the day. We'll get another update on this about midday. We'll provide that update to you. The entire region has also been placed under a level 2 slight risk for Thursday as well as Friday and Saturday, with the potential for some more scattered strong storms. I think our biggest severe weather threat overall is going to be tomorrow with this, but as that front stalls out, areas south of it still have some warmth and moisture to work with, and that would equal the potential for some stronger storms. I don't think we're looking at an outbreak of severe weather either day, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, but some of the stronger storms may try to pop along with the very heavy rain as we just get those additional waves of showers and storms. But each one of these daily threats is dependent on the day before it. So these are a little bit lower confidence, but certainly wouldn't carry the potential for significant severe weather like tomorrow does. Either way, we need to watch it because major flooding still appears to be likely. The entire region is under a flood watch. It's pretty rare for the Weather Service several days out to issue a flood watch that lasts as long as this one does. The flood watch goes into effect Wednesday and runs all the way through Sunday. You see much of the region, 6 to 8, 8 to 10 inches of rain. It depends on where that line sets up. This would cause flash flooding in the areas that are affected by the thunderstorms, widespread river flooding. We'd likely get those rivers out of their banks, especially the Green River. Woodbury and Rochester, we need to watch very closely because if you get any of that water over the road, that leads to potentially life-threatening flooding, and that's why we say turn around, don't drown. It only takes 6 inches of moving water to get your car off of its wheels, and now it's floating. So we need to respect the potential for flooding. The Weather Service yesterday called this a high-end, potentially life-threatening flooding event for the region, and I see no reason to doubt them. So we need to take the flooding threat seriously. The Weather Prediction Center, we talked about this, has their own risk outlines like the Storm Prediction Center does for thunderstorms, but this is for heavy rain. We're on the slight to moderate risk for heavy rain Wednesday, slight to moderate risk for heavy rain Thursday. We're closer to that marginal risk on Friday, but back to the moderate risk on Saturday. So the potential is there for several inches of rain. The Weather Service says it here. This is an increasingly significant setup with potential for high impacts and life-threatening flooding spanning the course of several days. This is potential river levels over 10 days throughout the Ohio River Basin, and it has the Green River at Woodbury in major flood stage. It has the Green River at Rochester in moderate flood stage. So we need to watch our river levels as we head through the next few days. Never drive through flooded roads. Most flood fatalities occur in vehicles. 6 to 12 inches of water can sweep a car right off the road. So this is something we need to pay very close attention to as we head through the next few days. Also, we want you to be prepared, especially tomorrow night, for the potential for those nighttime tornadoes. These would be more likely the spin-up kind, but we'll need to watch any cells that launch ahead of the front. Make sure you have that NOAA weather radio ready to go, your wireless emergency alerts with your cell phone turned on, charged, flashlight and shoes ready to go in case tornadic storms do work through during the overnight hours. So next 7 days of weather looks very active through the region. 66 today, your best day out there for the weather is today, with a 66, mostly sunny, quieter tonight with those storms, or with the temperatures starting to rise during the overnight. 82 tomorrow, very breezy. Likely we'll see a wind advisory, perhaps a high-end wind advisory issued as we head into tomorrow with the we call it the gradient winds ahead of any storms. Mid-60s out there for Wednesday night. With those storms working through, and then we keep it parked in the mid and upper 70s with the potential for several days of repeated rounds of heavy rain and thunderstorms, some of which could be briefly strong to severe. I don't think the threat for severe weather in terms of tornadoes or damaging winds or hail would be as high as tomorrow night on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. We'll watch it as we work through. The main threat is going to be the increasingly heavy rainfall with the potential for double-digit inches of rain as we head through the next few days. We start to finally work out of this active pattern as we finish out the weekend. You see, by Sunday, 60 with mid-30s out Sunday night. And the good news is we look to take at least a bit of a break from the active weather as we head towards that second week of April, which, by the way, This is not an April Fool joke. It is April Fool's Day, April 1st, but this is no joke as we head through the next several days. That will do it for me this morning. We've gone about a quarter hour here so far. Whether or not meteorologist Evan Hatter with a check of your increasingly active forecast here, brought to you by On Target. Let's make it a great day out there, everybody. If you have those flood preparations, make sure you get them done either by the end of the day today or at least by midday tomorrow, because things could get rough as we head through the next few days.